Well, we got more Link Vrains promos kind of just making their rounds right now, and I didn't expect to see these really this early, but here we go. So, Crossover Dragon, Link 2. Some interesting arrows cooking here, by the way. So, two monsters with different types. So you can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. So, during your main phase quick effect, attribute this card to add one plant monster you control. Oh yeah, contribute this card and one plant monster you control. Oh man, so we're already going to be neg on this. Special summon one rose synchro monster or one plant synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. That seems really bad. And if a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect while this card is in your graveyard, banish this card from your graveyard and special summon one rose monster from your graveyard. Okay, so for this being what it is, generic, plant synchro support, I get it. Two monsters to make this, and then to have this act as a tuner to tune into any rose synchro monster or plant synchro. It's a 3-card black rose. Not a super fan of that, but it's generic nonetheless. Any deck that can, play Lone Fire Blossom and this, you can make this. Alright, like, there's got to be some sort of tutorability there that you can kind of take advantage of, so that's my first initial thought with that is, cool. During the main phase, you just make a Black Rose Dragon on your opponent's field for a board wipe for 3 cards. And like I said, any deck that can take advantage of, our friend, Lone Fire Blossom, you got something there. That's a generic revival for a for a Rose Dragon. Seems alright, but this card's kind of lackluster for what I was really expecting out of this. Like, I guess maybe I'm just being... Link Vrains cards are supposed to be good. Next up is the World Keymaster Lib. And if you guys know anything about our lore on this card is so sad. Like, actually. So, 2 monsters. Oh, this is generic. Alright, cannot be Link summoned unless there's a World Legacy card in your graveyard. What? You can only use this card's name effects once per turn each. During your main phase, you can set one World Legacy spell or trap card directly from your deck to your field, but you cannot activate that card during the turn it was set unless you have a World Legacy monster in your graveyard. That seems really good. If this Link summon card was sent to the graveyard as a Link material, shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. Excuse me? So our first thing here is we have to have a World Legacy card in the graveyard. That seems very achievable to do this. And then I can set a World Legacy spell or trap card directly from my deck, but I have to have a World Legacy monster in my graveyard to activate that. That seems super, super achievable. I feel like the conditions on this card are very easy to do. And the fact that it's so generic to make this, I don't know. I wish that Ib the World Chalice was a World Legacy card. That'd be great. But World Legacy Guard Dragon is, thankfully, one. So, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what back-end support they give us with the last set in the block. But this feels good, actually. I kind of like this. Good use of mechanics. It's actually the first time that we've ever had this summoning mechanic in the game. And this inspires actually interesting things. And then we got Companion Whelp of the Destruction Sword. No, it's not a Link 1. No! No! Supposed to be a Link 1. Ah! Okay, so it's 2 monsters. Okay, this thing's generic. Cool, so it's generic and it's got the good arrows. Well, duh. Don't mind me. So if this card is Link Summon, you send 1 Destruction Sword card from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can special summon 1 Buster Blader from my hand. In what world, ladies and gentlemen, do I want to just hard draw that Buster Blader? And then at the start of the battle phase, if your opponent controls no monsters, you can target one of your Buster Blader monsters that did not declare an attack during this turn. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. Huh. It's at the end of the battle phase. Why couldn't you have made this? You could have made this a main phase 1 ability, and you could have cheesed people with this. I do like that the fact that on Link Summon you get to bury the sword just to start setting up for plays. That's really cute. Also, the fact that this thing is generic dragon, by the way, so you can navigate through guard dragon plays and stop by this. Like, you should have no problem. Like, this will tutor out for more things in the deck. I think that's really cool. So, while you're doing guard dragon shenanigans, bada bing, bada boom, Link 2 dragon. Haha! More uses just to set up for the sword. But outside of that, like, extra burn damage and a mill for the deck seems very nice. Actually, we're adding more into the Buster Blader lock at this point. Like, it's all the deck really is. It's just snap, crackle, lock the opponent's extra deck. But outside of that, this card's shaping up to be pretty interesting. I will say that. I'm very curious to see how much of this actually adds into the Buster Blader archetype, though, because I have a big question mark there. But alas, we'll have to wait and see. So those are your big 3 Link Brains reveals. Now we have some other stray stuff here. Faithful Servant came out this morning, and I was actually curious about this. So, Servant of the Soul, or Faithful Servant, for our 4Kids dub. So you can only use the second effect with this card's name once per turn. So, first effect, place on the top of the deck 1 card from your hand, deck, or graveyard as Dark Magician, or specifically lists the cards Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girl in the text. Except this card, because they don't want you to stack, good copies of this. And then during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard to draw cards equal to the number of Paladinium Oracle monsters, Dark Magician, and or Dark Magician monsters on the field and in the graveyard. So, I mean, anybody notice that this is a draw 3? And if you stack the Oracle Mahad, you can actually cheese draw it. That was kind of interesting. Note, the idiom hinted at this is how the anime Yami Yugi speaks to Dark Magician, which is a incarnation of Mahad, a high priest that served Atem. So that's kind of interesting. Actually kind of cool that they were able to kind of splash in that little bit of velour that we've had really from the show in quite some time, and just kind of bring it together. Like, I will say that this card is very good, though. Somebody was commenting earlier, like, if this doesn't make Dark Magician tier 1, then I don't actually know what will. And I agree with that statement. Like, I don't know what we have to do at this point to make this deck tier 1, but this is where we're going. And then we got the Wind Spirit Medium, and this will be our jump promo. And you guys know I squealed like a little girl when I first saw this. So this card is always treated as a Charmer card. All right. Charmer support. You can discard both this card and 1 Wind monster to add 1 Wind monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand, except for Wind, the Spirit Medium. Also, as this turn, you cannot activate the monsters of effect monster effects, except for Wind monsters. My first complaint about this is, oh man, in my Charmer deck, this is fantastic. And then you're just like, oh yeah, we don't really care about activated effects, but it's 1850. It's always counted as a Charmer card. We take value where we get it. And then when a Wind monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can actually special summon this card from your hands. So this actually is able to kind of combo extend out and kind of set up things. Downside to this, it's a V-Jump promo. Ugh. We're not going to see this card for a very long time in the TCG. As much as I actually love my, Charmer support, alas, it's going to be an eternity before we see this. So, I guess I can't complain too much. But the card's very good. Another 1850 that we'll take gladly. And then the last thing we had is Junk Converter. So, you can only use each of the effects of this card's name once per turn. So you can discard this card in 1 tuner to add 1 Synchron tuner, or 1 Synchron monster direct to your hand. Doesn't have to be a tuner, my bad. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchron material, you target 1 tuner in your graveyard, special summon that monster in defense mode. But during the turn that monster was special summoned, it cannot activate its effects. They just don't want you abusing, card effects that you would float back. I get it. I will say, though, that this is a very good card. More tutor ability also sets up for the graveyard for you to do things. And it's also a warrior. So we take these things when we get them. So what do you guys think about the new cards? All pretty interesting. Nothing really too out there. I was expecting more, but guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, well, catch you guys on the flip side, dude. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanco40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.